Hello everybody, my name is Sophie Spanagel and I work at CSM for 4 years. Today it's a pleasure for me to show you one of my favorite desserts, the Black Forest finger. We have on the base a cocoa shortbread pastry, then we have a little sponge cake, above a cherry filling and around a very smooth white chocolate vanilla mousse. This cake is glazed with a red mirror glaze and a dark chocolate gourmet glaze. The first step of this recipe is a cocoa shortbread pastry. For this, we are using a margarine, grand pâtissier, and icing sugar. I will mix both ingredients together. Grand pâtissier is very easy to use, and we will obtain a very creamy texture. We add the icing sugar, and with a paddle attachment, we mix them. As you can see, the texture is very good and creamy. Then we add the eggs and we mix. After that, we add the almond powder, vanilla flavor, cocoa powder, and the flour. The almond powder has a very fine and thin granulometry, so you can use it to do macaron, for example. You always need to sieve the powder previously, so you didn't give lumps in your dough. So now the cocoa shortbread dough is homogeneous. We have to leave it to cool at least 4 hours, but it's better if you do it the day before rolling out. After cooling down of the cocoa shortbread pastry, we roll out until 3 mm thick for the base and 2 mm thick for the decoration. For the base, we cut some rectangles, 13.5 by 4 centimeters. And for the decoration, we cut some rectangles of 12 by 1.5 centimeters. We bake them in the fan oven at 170 degrees between 2 silicone sheets. For the base, more or less 15 minutes, and for the decoration, more or less 10 minutes. Next step, the sponge cake. For this, we are using isa génoise, eggs and water. We put all ingredients together in the mixer bowl and we mix it with a whisk. The advantage of isa génoise is that it's very, very easy to use and to mix. And you will always have the same texture between the beginning of the spreading of the génoise to the end of the spreading. A few seconds with the first speed, and then 5 minutes with a high speed. As you can see, we obtain a very aerated and smooth texture. Now we are going to spread it into a frame. As I told you before, the advantage compared to a traditional sponge cake mass is that the texture is very easy to spread and it's less fragile than a traditional one. After that, we're gonna make it in the bake oven, 210 degrees in the fan oven, more or less 5 minutes. Now our sponge cake is baked and cooled down. We do the next step, the cherry filling. We use the cherry fruffy. It's one of our wide range of fruffy. It's fruit fillings with many fruit pieces inside. Here, we don't want to have too many pieces. We want a very regular layer, so we break down the fruit pieces before. You can also use a whisk or an electric mixer for do that. You can also use all the fruffy to do insert like this, or you can use it into mousse. It gives a very nice fruit flavor and color. As you can see, it's very easy to spread. And now we place it in the blast freezer. Next step of this Black Forest finger is a white chocolate mousse. For this recipe, we use Bavaria vanilla, milk, white chocolate previously melted, and primer nut cream whipped. First step, we mix Bavaria vanilla and milk. Bavaria is a preparation to do many mousse bavaroise. We have many flavors in our range. All the other flavors are using by adding water, but only the Bavaria vanilla is using with milk. You need to be very careful of the temperature of the milk. I recommend you to using it at 25 degrees. This temperature is the minimum to rehydrate the gelatin, and you will obtain a very fluid mousse when you will pour it into your mold. So you see, it's very easy to mix. You don't have any lumps inside. After that, I add the white chocolate. If you want to do dark chocolate mousse, you can also add dark chocolate melted. Everything is okay. So now we can add the primer nut cream. So this is a combined cream with vegetable cream and 15% of dairy cream. I add it in two parts. First one I mixed with a whisk. And second part of the cream. I use a maurice. So we need to mix it very slightly to not break the air bubbles. Now our white chocolate mousse is okay. We can begin the assembly of our finger. Now all our previously preparations are okay. As you can see, this is our insert made with our sponge cake made with isa génoise and our cherry filling with cherry fruffy. We cut them after freezer in 1.5 per 11 centimeters rectangles. I put our white chocolate vanilla mousse in a piping bag. And we pipe around 40 grams per mold. Always be careful to not have any air bubbles in the mold. And then I place the insert inside the mousse. And you push. You can smooth the top of the mold with a little spatula. And now we are going to place it in the blast freezer. Now we are going to make the first step of our finishing. It's a red glaze mirror. To do that, we use the Royal Mirror Neutral and we add some Royal Nap apricot to jellify it more, that the mirror can hold on of our mousse. So first step, we mix the Royal Nap apricot with water in a pan. So the Royal Nap apricot is a concentrated glaze and we melt it with the water and heat it to a boil. This will be activated the pectin and we pour it on our Royal Mirror Neutral. Always good mixing with a whisk to melt it all the pieces of royal nap apricot. During this time, I put the royal mirror neutral into this bucket. As you can see, all the glaze is melted and we have our first boil. So now it's okay, we can switch off and pour it onto the royal mirror neutral. We mix it with an electric mixer. Be careful when you put it inside. Do not have any air bubbles. Don't use it so, but this way. Our glaze is well homogeneous. This is a neutral color, but we will add some red coloring because we want a black forest finger and we want to remind the cherry filling inside. So this is a water dispersible coloring, but you can also add powder or liquid. Now everything is okay. We will use it at 45 degrees. If you use it with a lower temperature, you will have a thicker glaze and it won't hold on enough on your mousse. Now we can begin the first step of our finishing. Our wet glaze mirror is about 45 degrees and we are going to pour it onto our dessert. Don't hesitate to pour a large quantity of mirror on the top. We can reuse the excess. So I use toothpick to scrape the excess of the mirror on the base, like this. And after that, we place this dessert a few minutes in the freezer to be sure that the mirror is very well fixed. And after, we can go to the next step of our glaze. Second step of our finishing is a dark chocolate gourmet glaze. For this, we will using two ingredients, dark chocolate croissant and dark chocolate 65% melted. The dark chocolate croissant is one of our 11 flavors of the range of the brand Marguerite. It is made with dark chocolate, crepe chips, and some pieces of almond and hazelnuts. It gives a very good texture. We mix both ingredients. We previously melted in the microwave the dark chocolate melted too, and it's very easy to combine. This dark chocolate gourmet glaze will be used at around 35 degrees. Okay, here we have our previously dessert glazed with a red mirror glaze. This is our dark chocolate gourmet glaze, and this is our cocoa shortbread pastry base. I take with a toothpick the dessert. I dip it half. And I put them in the middle of the rectangles. Now it's my favorite part. It's a decoration. So here we have our dessert, double glazed. This is cioccolata, previously temperate and whipped. So this is cocoa filling. You can also use it like chocolate cream by adding some prime nut cream, but here we use it alone. Here we have our cocoa shortbread decoration. Some cherry previously glazed in the same glaze than the dessert, and some chocolate decoration. This is our Marguerite chocolate decor. It's a sweet chocolate assortment. You can also have some disc white chocolate and some milk. So I put the cocoa shortbread on the top. I pipe some peaks onto it. I place the cherry to remind the Black Forest taste and the dark chocolate disc. Now our Black Forest finger is ready to be tasted. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us or your CSMI local distributor. Thank you for watching. See you soon.